Welcome to the show. I'm so glad to have an excellent guest here today, Mr. Greg Kirk. Welcome, Greg.
Hi, Chelsea. Thank you very much for having me be here.
Thank you so much for getting on and spending some time with us and sharing a little bit about your mission.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm excited for a lot of what you have to share. You've got your hands in different pots right now, and you're being able to expand with some really important work. I believe that a lot of us are going to be excited to see what happens in your mission and what you're trying to do.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's a passion of mine, that's for sure. And if I can help as many people as possible, that's kind of the mission in life. It should be for everybody, right? Help others just like we want to be helped.
That's right. And I love your heart. You're so caring. So do you want to tell us a little bit about the people that you help?
Sure. So for those that are listening, my name is Greg Kirk. I'm the owner of a company called Onward Therapy Services. I've been a business owner for the past 15 years, and I've been in the healthcare space for the last 18 years. And what I've noticed working with the individuals that I have that are spinal cord injured, brain injuries, amputations, individuals that have had strokes, really life-changing type of conditions. What I've learned most about them really are two things. And one is that life and health are two things that money can't buy. So for those of you listening out there that are passionate about starting a business or working their way up in life, follow the passion, don't follow the money. I always say that to individuals because it's a good reminder to know that you can get caught up in that stuff very easily, but if you follow your passion, the money will be secondary. The money will come. So that's just kind of an automatic thing. That's one. And then the other thing that these individuals taught me is that life is short. It can change in the blink of an eye. As a lot of us probably know, that life is not a guarantee. And so that's why I always say, act now. Act on your dreams and act on accomplishing your goals right now. Don't put it off to tomorrow. Don't put it off the next week. Because when you do that, all you're really doing is convincing yourself not to do something. So, my goal today, I am here to talk to you guys about my Life Elevation Consulting Program. And, it's my hope that if what I say today resonates with you, you can sign up and we can get started working together and I can help you. That's kind of my way to give back over these last 15 years of being an entrepreneur. I want to help other entrepreneurs accomplish their goals as well.
That's awesome. I know that so many people want that or feel stuck in their certain situations, but, they just don't know where to start.
Absolutely. That's the hardest part. And if you don't mind, I'd like to share a story with you, a personal story.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Absolutely. And I love sharing this story because it's made me a better person, even though I've been through some very hard times in my life and challenges, just like anybody. I know that everybody has their challenges and everything else. But back in 2010, my story kind of begins where, that's where my business really started to take off. My career was going well. My relationship with my wife was great. We had 2 kids. We just had my second daughter. And just like that, it changed in a blink of an eye. My daughter got sick. She went into heart failure. This was my newborn. We have a history of heart disease in the family. And all of a sudden, my daughter got severely sick, went into heart failure. We had to take her to the hospital. And unfortunately, she never made it out. And she ended up taking her last breaths in my lap. And as hard as that experience was, it certainly taught me more life lessons than I can possibly tell people. And so fast forward to 2018, my oldest daughter, Olivia, she's 13 now, but just a couple of years ago, she went into sudden cardiac arrest in my house at 4 a.m, actually on Thanksgiving night of all time. It was right on Thanksgiving. And,
you're making me cry over here. I'm so sorry you had to go through that.
And we literally watched her be shock paddled back to life on our bedroom floor by the first responders. And so just going through those challenges were extremely difficult, but you've got to find ways to move past it and to move on with your life. Because if you don't, two things are going to happen. Either, I always say, look, you have two paths, and you can either move on with your life, or you can, lay down and let those challenges succumb you. So, the pivotal moment was really my clients, and not just my, obviously family members were helping me through it, but the clients were extremely helpful in that time, because with all the things that they were going through in their life and their challenges, when they told me, they go, Greg, I can't imagine what you're going through. And when they said that, that really hit home with me, because I keep thinking to myself, what I'm going through, what about all the things that you've gone through in your life, all the hardships and the challenges that you're still going through? And that really made me realize that, you know what, they never gave up, and they're still fighting. And that's what I'm going to do too. I can't give up. Even though all of us have times where we do want to give up in those challenges, but because of the individuals that I serve, they help me see that. And, I'll never forget that. I thank them every day that, I can take their experiences and use them as my own motivation as well. So I also look at it to where, what kind of role model would I be as a father and as a husband if I gave up? What kind of role model would I be to my patients and my clients if here I am telling them week in and week out, persevere, work hard, and then I don't do the same thing. So that
Greg,
really.
What was the outcome with your older daughter? Is she fully recovered, or how?
Yep. Thank you for that, Chelsea. She is fully recovered.
Just like, I'm dying to know, is she okay?
It actually was the best case scenario as far as recovery.
Right.
It turned out unbelievable. She is 100% cognitively aware. Physically, she is fine too. She was unconscious for about 5 minutes. So, that's getting up there to where it's dangerous with not enough oxygen to your brain, right? Cutting off oxygen supply. So we were incredibly lucky. She walked out of the hospital a week after that incident with a defibrillator and a pacemaker installed. So now we can rest assured that, God forbid she ever goes into cardiac arrest again, she does have the necessary hardware inside of her to prevent that from happening, and hopefully shocking, her heart back into rhythm. So
I'm so glad to hear that.
Yeah, thank you. The happy-go-lucky 13-year-old, just like most people. So it taught me a lot about life, for sure.
That's awesome. That's great. Okay, so you talked a little bit. I'm trying to fight back.
No, that's okay. You know what, Chelsea? It is. I've always learned it is okay to cry, because that's what humans do. And I know that you've gone through a lot of challenges and hardships of your own. That's why I respect you so much, because you could have done the same thing. You had two roads to choose too, and you took the road to taking those challenges and making yourself a better person for it, and making yourself stronger. And so all the viewers that are listening to this, that's really what I would love for you guys to take away is, whatever challenges you have in your life, don't limit yourself, challenge those limits that are put on you and rise above them. And whether it's professionally or personally, and seek to, live your dream and achieve your goals.
Exactly. Okay, so, and for the people that you want to help, who you want to connect with and provide your services for, what is kind of the major challenges you're seeing that they're having?
Well, one of the major challenges that I'm seeing, and what's so sad today, is that the majority of new entrepreneurs or business owners within the first 5 years fail. And, it shouldn't happen. And I always say that because if you're truly passionate about what you do, and you have a product or service that can help change the world, then, it should not fail. And I think the reason why it does fail are a few things. People don't understand effective leadership. They don't understand how to create effective company culture. They don't really understand how to encircle themselves with a team of advisors who can help them. And then, of course, branding their company, or branding what their product or service is to take it to the world is something that could be foreign to them. And throughout my 15 years of experience, that's what I kind of specialize in, and I know how to do that well. So I feel like that's how I can give back and help those individuals. Again, Just want to throw that out there that it's the Life Elevation Consulting Program. Typically goes for $14.99 a month, but to all the listeners that are listening to this show, I will sell it at $9.99 a month. So that's over $500 a month savings, $6,000 savings a year. There's no obligation as far as contract. We do a month to month. If you feel that, what I'm saying with you guys, you want to sign up for my program, you can go to CEO@gregkirk360.com and I can help you out that way. And, my passion and the reason why I do this is because I have a passion for entrepreneurship. Once I started my company, I absolutely fell in with being a business owner and an entrepreneur. To have that financial freedom, to have that flexible schedule is amazing. I don't think there's anything else like it. So I also am an educator by background. I graduated with it. And nothing gives me more satisfaction than seeing people really find and discover their true talent and their true gift.
You graduated with a what? I'm sorry, it cut out.
That's okay, with an education background. So I was a teacher before I got into entrepreneurship and being a business owner. So again, seeing people really discover their true value and discover that they can achieve their goals, that's my passion. That's what I love to see. And that's why I love being a consultant, because, what better gift, than watching your student or the person you're coaching, achieve the goals that they were meant to achieve.
Okay, awesome. So just so I make sure I understand right, it's kind of about effective leadership, branding, achieving your big goals. Am I missing any other high points?
Creating effective company culture. And I can touch base a little bit more on that if you'd like, because I think company culture is one thing that is so overlooked in a business, because everybody's focusing on their day-to-day, right? Everybody's focusing on their tasks. And you can get so caught up in that you forget about the reason why you're there. You forget about the passion. You forget about the excitement. And that is really why people stay in a company for the long term. It's not necessarily about the paycheck. It's what they believe in. And if they can get behind you as a leader and you can inspire them, then they're going to believe what you believe. And that's what I've discovered being a business owner for this long, is that it's not always about the paycheck. I used to think so. And I discovered very quickly that it's not. It's about what you are providing your team. And if you truly do the things that you say, that's the most important thing, right? Like anything in life. Do what you mean. Say, don't give them lip service and not deliver. So if you tell them one thing and you deliver on it, they're going to follow you and they're going to get behind you, and eventually they're going to come to work, not because they have to, but because they want to. And that's the greatest gift as far as what you can give your team. So there's a whole bunch of into creating a company culture. What I like to do is find out what your passion is. And then if you can find out what your passion is and your purpose, then you can build the mission, you can build the vision, you can build things off of that to make sure that you're all swimming in the same direction. Because if you're going in one direction, the team's going in another, that's where it creates chaos in a company. And so
that's good. I'm writing that down. So passion, purpose, and then your vision and your mission.
Yeah. So Chelsea, if you were just starting a company, you'd really sit down and say, okay, what's my passion? What's my purpose? Okay. And then once you really understand what that is, then you need to start creating a mission and a vision off that passion and that purpose. And what you need to do is not just tuck that away in some company manual. You need to live that every single day. So it's important on emails, on communication chains, that you are preaching your core values. You are preaching your mission. You're preaching your vision over and over again. And then that way people will subconsciously start to act that way. If you don't, and the reason why I know is because I was a culprit. I had a business consultant years ago say, Greg, what is your mission and what is your vision for your company? And I didn't know it. I said, a second. I went back into my company manual. I looked it up and I read it to him. And he goes, if you don't know that, how do you expect the rest of your team to know it and to follow it? So, it was very important advice because something so simple was so meaningful. Once we really started to preach the company culture, everybody started swimming in the same direction. And it literally took our company this way when we went up like that. So
wow,
great vertical growth. That was actually my biggest growth, was probably the 2 years after we installed that company culture and just kept preaching it over and over again. So
wow.
it showed me how important and how effective that is.
Yeah. And you kind of touched on it, but tell me why you're doing what you're doing.
Sure. To give back to entrepreneurs, I still have a long way to go, obviously, to learn. You should learn every day, but my why and my purpose is to give back to entrepreneurs roughly within 1 to 5 years of business, and to really see them grow and achieve their goals by working with me. Again, I want to kind of rehash the things that I believe I can help you on work as a business owner, and that's leadership, creating effective company culture, and creating an effective team of advisors. So many people overlook the advisory board too. It's essential, especially as a new entrepreneur and business owner. I can't preach to you how important that is to get a team of advisors, an odd number, roughly 5, and those 5 people should be made up of different, shouldn't all be in the same industry. They should be in different industries. They should be people who trust other type of business owners and entrepreneurs who are experienced and give you the advice you need to help grow your business. And another thing is a mastermind group. That's a very powerful way to join a group of like-minded individuals who can help give you advice as well.
Wow, those are some really good tips. Yeah,
Great.
So joining in a mastermind, and then I love what you said about the advisory board, how trusting them and having them come from different industries. Why would you say different industries?
Because it helps give you a more of a variety, a wider perspective on things. If I just, let's say I'm in the healthcare space, if I were just to collaborate with people in the healthcare space, I could be missing out on different perspectives from different individuals. I always say business fundamentals is business fundamentals. It doesn't matter if you're in automotive, if you're in technology, if you're in healthcare, those fundamentals are all going to be the same. So don't limit yourself to just one certain arena, broaden your horizons.
Right. That's awesome. That's kind of what they do with the mastermind too, but it's like your advisory board is going to be there to support you in your business and you and your business only. So that's great to get that in place. I actually never thought about that for my business.
Yeah, and another thing about the mastermind as well, it can be an effective way, especially when you're just starting out. If you can't afford a consultant, it's an effective way to be able to collaborate again with like-minded people that can give you advice, and you're not paying a premium for that, because you're in a group of people that are, of like-minded, and again, coming from all different industries. I can't tell you what a gift that is. When I joined the mastermind group back in the beginning of my career as well, I didn't know how effective it was going to be until I joined one. And actually the most effective people were the ones who weren't in healthcare, were the ones that were outside of healthcare giving me different perspectives on things.
That's great. That's ironic. But it makes sense, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so you pretty much went over the results with the effective leadership, the company culture, and what I missed. I wrote notes.
That's good. The branding, of course. I feel like I've done an effective job of branding my company, and I've really learned a lot about that over the years as well. And things like sales and marketing, promoting and pre-selling is a huge thing that most people don't do. They wait right up till the day that they either have the product or service running to promote it and to sell it. You really should be doing the opposite. You should be promoting and pre-selling long before you launch your product or your service.
Right. And that's something that Angel Tessie talks about. When do they do the preview for a movie? And they record the preview before the movie's even recorded. And I was like, wow, how do they do that? Because it seems from the movie, but yeah, that's awesome. So do you want to tell us again a little bit more about your program?
Sure. So again, it's called the Life Elevation Consulting Program, and I call it the Life Elevation Consulting Program because that's really what everybody's goal is when they get into business. They want to elevate their life, right? They want to create a better life for them and their family. So I thought it was a fitting name to to start. And so it's a Life Elevation Consulting Program. Again, $14.99 a month, but today, if you call in and you contact me from listening to the show, I'll offer it to you for $9.99 a month, $500 a month savings, $6,000 savings a year. And again, I'm doing that because I really want to try to help entrepreneurs and small business owners succeed.
Awesome. So do they get time with you, time in group coaching, or how does that work?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now it is one-on-one with me, so
awesome.
When you get me strictly one-on-one, I'm not going to transition you to another business expert or consultant. It is me, and that's what I have passion doing is I like to do all the work myself when I work with people, and that's it.
That's great. That's what we want, to work with a professional. And I think you're very likable, and it really comes off as on your heart. So thank you for, it's like you've had several businesses, but it's all kind of got you to the point where you are today to be able to help people in a holistic way.
It has, especially in today's world. I feel like it's more important than ever to stick to stick by one another, help each other out. We need more positivity in this world, and if I can provide that, then I can rest happy. So again, if any of you want to get a hold of me, it's CEO at Greg Kirk, KIRK 360.com. So CEO at Greg Kirk 360.com.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, well, yeah, you and I are we're right there together.
Perfect.
We're about survival, achieving our dreams, following our passion, and being able to really define that. And I love how you talk about company culture, because I don't hear a lot of people talking about that, and kind of branding and getting that advisory board in place, because that's something, like I said, I hadn't thought about before.
Yeah, I think that can get overlooked in the business so much. And before we leave this call today, I just want to give a big shout out to you. Thank you so much for providing me the opportunity. It really means a lot. And I think very highly of you and all the things that you've been through in your life. I can't tell you how much I respect that and how you are sitting at that seat today. It's great.
Thank you for saying that. I really appreciate that. And I've shared that, today actually is the 20-year anniversary of my mom's car accident, so when my mom and her fiance passed when I was 16. So I appreciate you saying that. And I appreciate you telling your story, because a lot of people go through this kind of loss and they don't talk about it. And I think it's really important for healing. It really is important.
I agree with you. And how ironic is it that 10 years ago this month, my daughter passed away. So this is
really,
so that's ironic that we're both kind of going through those same times.
Absolutely. And I don't know about you, but at 5 years and 10 years, kind of those big milestones, it was really tough leading up to those. And once I kind of got to that, when I got to the 5 years, when I got to the 10 years and the 15 years, it really just kind of let up. And it was a good feeling, So it was really hard working up to it. And then when that day comes, it's kind of I'm okay.
I think you said it best right there. It's a good feeling. You don't know that at the time when you're going through it, but as time heals, right? So after those harder years and the beginning years and that sort of thing, once you start to go to 5, 10, 15, 20 years out, you really start to become a better person and a stronger person for those hardships you've been through. And I know that's what happened to me. I think of the world a lot differently than I did before that experience. And it's not made me take life for granted anymore.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you think that, you know, when you look at your 13-year-old daughter running around. So I'm really happy for you.
Every day, I thank God. Every time she goes to bed at night, I thank God that she's still here.
Oh, okay. Well, before I start bawling, we'll go ahead and sign off here. But if you've identified with Greg, want to talk to him further, I'm sure he would love to be able to get to know you and see if it might be a good fit to work together. So again, CEO at gregkirk360.com. CEO at gregkirk360.com, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Thanks again, Chelsea. I really have you today.
Thank you so much, Greg.
Okay.